Greetings, blessings, salutations once again. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, here to share a little bit of time and inspiration. To start with, some gratitude. Thank you to all of you who have tuned in already, who may tune in, may join soon or later. Golly geez, man. What an amazing time that we get to be. Before I drop the link today, I've got a lot of notes for today about things I wanted to discuss. But first, let's start with the thumbnail and the topic. The topic of today is separate wholeness. Separate wholeness was actually inspired by this quote, this thumbnail. The man who follows the crowd will usually get no further than the crowd. The man who walks alone is likely to find himself in places no one has ever been. I thought, that is beautiful. Beautifully written, said. But what does that mean? Many of us believe we're the crowd. The crowd is where what I was thinking. These crowds, these inner circles of comfort, they can hold us back. And it's true. From our families to our circle of friends to our associates at church and organizations, we'll find circles and crowds where we belong in. But when you venture out beyond those circles, you see what no one in your circle has ever seen before. And that's kind of been the story of my life, man. And maybe many of you too. Those of us who just didn't quite fit in. We're able to get along with others and we're able to adapt ourselves in order to survive. But maybe we just didn't fit in for a reason. That's what I've been starting to believe for myself. And, here, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link, but I think there's enough people here. I need to address some things I saw from rewatching the one from yesterday. Greetings to all of you. Sincerely, blessings. And Chuck, here, you're in the notes too. I said a word to you earlier, but I went back and reviewed yesterday, and mixed feelings. I do review often, so it's not assumed, okay? My reactions and flow state. Holy cows, man. Flow brings a cool energy. So I haven't noticed him in the chat yet, but Sarah offered some observations on communicating that I'd actually like to explore further, like she was bringing up. How to overcome these barriers from the differences in each of our understandings. So I'd like to explore that some more. And golly geez, now I made notes and I can't remember what it was. What's up, Cynthia? Holy cows. I think I saw you in the chat, maybe earlier, just stopped by, but her care, she's growing on me. She's growing on me. And Flo dropped some observations on goals that I'd actually like to explore more as well. Behind the scenes in the private chat the other day, he'd left some links on how to outline goals. And they're great tips, great things that I went back and reviewed in myself as well. Chuck, I think I saw you in the chat there. Chuck, I went back and I re-saw the interactions, and you're showing a lot of care. Okay. And I appreciate that. Something I noticed about myself is sometimes, and maybe we all do it. We probably all do it to different degrees and at different levels, different ways. I've learned a couple of things recently. When people show me care, sometimes I show rudeness in exchange. It's like, just because it wasn't what I was looking for or what I'm seeking. And I think we all do this. We create our expectations, our hopes. We I don't know, life is a mind game, brothers and sisters. So here, the separate wholeness. What I did share on the other, where'd it go? The heck did I say? Actually, why am I doing that? Here, get away. Find comfort alone to break free of the crowds that want to control you. Right? Where'd it go? Find comfort alone to break free of the crowds that want to control you. Because if you consistently find yourself trying to fit in with a crowd, and yet you don't, find comfort alone. And then don't worry, the right crowd will reveal itself. I believe this. I believe my faith in the way things work, sincerely, my faith in the good has grown tremendously. I've been blessed to learn a lot of different things, a lot of different perspectives on history and government and the way and health, spirituality. I've been blessed with time off and opportunities to really explore what I could discover. And what it boils down to is the good is available. The good is up to each of us to find, to discover, to receive, to share. But so what is good? That's the uniqueness of this adventure. What was the notes? My other I watched a couple of other creators, YouTube creators, some videos for inspiration earlier, and was reminded of a couple of things. One of them was beautiful Alan Watts discussion. That's one of my favorites. From that discussion, what I was reminded of, many of the philosophies, the religions, the philosophies, many of these ideas are that their core essence of the idea is that there is an inner purity that's within. Okay, there's an inner purity within all things. There's an essence that is true of its nature. As I'm saying these words, it's making sense. And I know it's true. There's a divine essence, an inner purity within you, within me, within the all. And it's up to each of us to discover that inner purity, to create that inner purity, nurture that inner purity in your own fashion. Sometimes we're clumsy. Sometimes we make mistakes. We have veils of ignorance. And we were born into a world that's really pretty merciless. It's profitable. Think about the big picture of humanity today. Wars, deaths, immorality. These things have been proven to be profitable. I wonder why. I wonder why. Selfishness, maybe? Selfishness could be part of it, but selfishness is not who we are. Our poll, I think you might be the first to discover. Thank you. Or I wasn't paying attention. No others. Our poll, bless you, brother. It doesn't show up here. I was inspired by my critics, by New NJ Jeep Girl and Salty Siren. They've been pretty open critics of me, but create emojis. Duh, Jack. Yes, I can do something. I didn't get very far. That's the first. The live without fear is the first emoji. There's more to come for the membership, and I don't remember. I thought I saw MFIC of Steve down there. Hey, you and Chuck have been generous, but I think you've been gifting the more expensive memberships, man. I don't know. I'm figuring this stuff out, and I'm having fun. I'm growing in the joy of being. And I encourage you guys to join me, all of us. We can grow in joy for the state of being that we get to be. You know, the state of being, I mean, the current world situation. We can let go of our anxiety. How about this? Here's something else. I was reminded of what is the benefit of anxiety. Anxiety is so we prepare for the future, so that we don't get comfortable and run out. It's for our own self-preservation, but it's not normal nor healthy to live in a state of anxiety or anger or fear or depression. It is not normal nor healthy. So, and actually, I would bet many people have normalized living in anxiety. I know I went through my own periods of insanity, depression, and that stuff is real, and it really sucks. So the benefit of anxiety, it's a reminder for us. Our body will lead us. This is what I'm learning to trust. And I have thoughts I'm still exploring within about trusting the body. Because you can't trust the body, but you can trust the body. So the benefit of anxiety, use it as a warning system. Use those feelings within the feelings of discomfort and, discomfort. Look for the feelings of discomfort as just not things to suffer through, not things to just accept or try and ignore or pretend they don't exist. Use those signs that are within that are causing discomfort, or in your day-to-day. If it's causing discomfort, use it as a warning system. It's like, hey, hello, wake up. Time to do a change. Time to do a change. If you're anxious, time to prepare. Time to find something to do. These feelings and thoughts, man, they can be consuming. They can take us over. We'll think it's real. And in the meantime, the world is still. Can you feel the still that is? right now with me. I'm feeling the stillness, and it's a bliss. It's a quiet yet it feels good to be present and now. As long as you can stay present and now with an objective awareness without judgment and labeling and, you know, consuming your mind energy with analyzing and whatever, dividing. If you can allow yourself to be still. Be still and know the answers to what you're seeking, what is troubling you, what's angering you. Those answers they're available. So to be still and know. Know that I am. You are. I am that I am as I am right now. And then you can ask yourself, what am I right now? What am I being right now? And sometimes, it takes a little figuring out, but you'll get it. You are that you are. So become comfortable in living as the honest you, allow the inner purity to grow within you. Because, the inner purity, see, when we become still and one with the moment, there's no, you can release from the mind chatter and the thoughts. And without thoughts, you are purely you. You're not distorted by by perceptions or objections, right? Your judgments. You're not clouded by those things. You're just still and you're purely you. That's how we're supposed to live, guys. I'm pretty sure. That's what I've been trying to do. Hey, I welcome the link to join is pinned to the chat. If any do wish to join, all are welcome. And I haven't really been engaging with the chat. Please. Hey, I think stillness is the master of movement. The heavy is the root of the lightweight. TML, brother, your mind is a deep. Well, there are beautiful waters within the depths of your mind. And water is that divine force that brings life. That's what knowledge is. And Chuck, that is the point I was trying to get to last night. Keep your head in the clouds, but keep your feet on the ground. Amen. That is, and Austin, good to see you too, brother. Amen. Stillness and inner peace. These were concepts I'd heard of, but in my life, I didn't have time to think about stillness and inner peace. That's a waste of time, man. I got shit to do. I got things to get done. I had things to worry about, man. I couldn't have time for that inner peace and stillness crap. Brothers and sisters, we were born into a confused world, man. What is this? Stop what you're doing, ground yourself, and then figure out what is causing the anxiety. If it's coming from your thoughts and you're being mind fucked beautifully, yes, it is absolutely true. Holy cows, man. Holy cows. I am amazed at where this life has become. The thoughts I think when I'm alone, man. Holy cows. I I used to record them, and then when I got robbed, they stole the recorder, so I stopped doing that.
Hi.
Sarah, how are you?
I've been waiting for my laundry and it still isn't done, so I just said I'll come up now anyways.
I appreciate it. Welcome. It is good to see you.
Good to see you, Jack.
Stop that. I was giving some thought to what you were saying. How to overcome the the different levels of understandings.
Mm-hmm.
That is I think that is the $1 million question, honestly. Whoops. I'm trying to get rid of that. I have theories, actually. I do have theories. I know it requires willingness on whoever you're trying to communicate the different idea to. They've got to be willing to hear. Otherwise,
yeah, their mind has to be open. Yeah, they have to have something to receive it. Otherwise, you're just throwing shit at a wall.
that's yes, and it can become very frustrating because someone you care about's not understanding. You keep trying, and oh man, well, this is from experience. Everyone has free will to do what they want, and that includes learn, listen, hear, comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't always get to choose what we hear. We choose what we listen to, though, and accept and comprehend. So it comes down to willingness. How do you convince people you care about to become willing to see the benefits of understanding what you're saying?
Well, I know from my experience, even not related to red pilling people, half the battle is making sure we're using the same definitions of a word. Like, even just regular dictionary definitions, or everyone has their own kind of internal use of a word, like a colloquial term. And half the battle is just being able to understand each other and what we're truly saying. So miscommunication in itself is so complicated, it's not even funny. So just getting on the same page of language is the first step.
Certainly, absolutely. Agreement of terms.
Yeah. Otherwise,
perhaps.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're talking at each other or over each other and never truly talking with each other.
Unfortunately, even that requires agreement. It requires their willingness to come to an agreement of terms, come to an agreement of the disagreement. This is what I've been experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
Disagreeable people disagree. Well, we all have seen examples. Disagreeable people who disagree that they're disagreeable.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Hello, Cynthia. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, I came up here, but Sarah's up here. She's always so much more talkable and intelligent than me. But I'm here if y'all need any feedback.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Cynthia, you are welcome. I've grown to love you. Sincerely.
Me too, Jack. Love you too. I love your heart. I saw you today on London Man saying how you wanted, you're still hoping that there can be peace with everybody. And it's truly a blessed heart. And so I think it's a spiritual love we feel for each other. But only our spirits are going to know each other, even if we don't. So please continue.
Amen. Thank you, Cynthia.
Oh, real quick, CIA. Okay.
I assume that was probably deserved. It was. Yes, it was. Be nice in the chat. Holy cows. Hey, Lou Bass, this is a distinction. You're projecting, my friend. Peace is available right now. Oh, Sarah, this is something I've been considering as far as the incentive. We can only communicate right now.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, using that in these relationships where we've got these disagreements, if we can move beyond the disagreements and remember that these relationships, the opportunities for relationships, that's what's important. We don't have to allow our disagreements to continue. I think that's part of the brainwashing we've been accepting as well. It's okay to disagree on some things, but other things we should be able to figure out the difference, right? We should have the willingness to find the difference, I think. But so, Sarah, if the first step is to agree to language, then how do we make that happen?
Sometimes that's a annoying initial step where you literally have to ask the other person, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Or make sure, do you understand? It's like, okay. Like it can be very annoying initially, but once you're on the same page, then it can go much smoother.
Sorry, Sarah. Yes.
Okay.
However, I don't mean to. I want to offer a different perspective. Okay, to overcome the challenge, because this was the thought I was thinking for this talk earlier about separate wholeness and the purity within. So what is the purity within? It is the essence of us. It is our pure nature, or I might be mixing these up, but the purity within is our divine nature. And the nature is the essence. The essence is the spirit. The spirit is conceptual. It is undefinable. It's not limited by definitions. So our understanding comes from beyond the words.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the meanings. And what happens is our limits, we've got these resistors on our minds. These veils of confusion are resistors on our minds, and they get us hung up on unimportant details. It is the details that bring the meaning, and the meaning reveals the concepts, but the concepts and the spirit of the meaning, that's where we've got to find our way to share. I might be overcomplicating this, but
no, it is that complicated because we are all talking about very similar concepts, but then we use different language to describe it. And then we have different meanings for what those details are, and we lose the fact that we're still talking about the same big picture conceptual idea, and then we think we're arguing when in fact we're talking about the same thing, just using different language.
Yes. And that different language has us having two different conversations, right?
Mhm.
And we're living in two different realities at the same time. it's it's fabulous. It is so freaking crazy. Human communication, accept that it can be challenging, but accept that we can understand each other. I believe we can.
Indeed. I was watching something on YouTube earlier. I don't know if y'all know who Lauren London is, but it was one of her interviews, and they were doing they were talking financial, and the host had said that he used to be a financial advisor, and he said that the one thing that he recognized immediately when working with people is they weren't even educated enough to ask questions. So they didn't ask questions because they felt like they would be stupid if they asked.
Mhm.
So that really brought it back to what Sarah was saying. Like, we all have to get educated first before we can go to that next level. Hey, Flow State.
What up? That's why you ask questions. That's how people get educated. It's such a loop of ignorance.
Right, but
Mhm.
he was saying how he noticed people were embarrassed. Like, people get embarrassed because if you ask a silly question or somebody, they're going to pounce on you if for whatever reason. And so
Those
a
are
lot of people,
dicks.
yeah, and they'll see that, so they themselves will be like, well, I don't want that to happen to me. I'm not going to ask.
Because people remember that one traumatic time they were the only one who didn't know, instead of like looking at the situation objectively. If you look at yourself objectively, and I think that most people, even stupid people, think that they're smarter than most people on average, right? Then if you have the question, other people have the question too.
That's what I started learning. I found more comfort when I started accepting I didn't understand, that I didn't know. And I found more comfort in accepting that I didn't understand and I didn't know when I realized most others really don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's wrong. That is poorly stated.
Honestly, I think it's true. A lot of people just regurgitate something they read but don't truly understand, or they could explain it. All they can do is repeat what they heard.
I've been guilty of that. But
No
that
way.
was well, yep. And that the Dunning-Kruger effect, where you learn little bit of information, you think you know it all. I'm totally guilty of that. But luckily, even the shit when I was saying when I didn't understand what I was saying, turned out I was accurate. I just
So you did know everything.
I just well, I was unable to explain the things that I had been saying.
You can
And
know without understanding. I think that's a lot of things.
each of us can. What I found in myself, and I think many people do, is we create habits of confusion, limiting ourselves, preventing ourselves from either understanding or accepting what we already know. That's what I was guilty of when I was in my patterns of alcoholism. I'd refuse to accept what I already knew. So the inner work, that seeking the wholeness and the seeking the purity, seeking the enlighten yourself, release yourself from all the burdens of judgment and limitations, and then become free to grow into whatever you want. I think I took us totally off the topic there, didn't I? We were talking about golly geez, it's communication primarily.
You didn't take us completely off. We were talking about knowing versus understanding. You just went to denial.
Yes, thank you.
The truth and reality, living a lie. It's connected.
This world has taught us to believe in a lot of lies. And the greatest lie, there's so many greatest lies we tell ourselves, but one of my favorites is I'll be happy when. I'll relax when XYZ.
And are
And
you
then
relating that to a physical, tangible goal or some experience or something rather than actual peace within?
even more than that, what we'll do is we will unconsciously create this limit in our body, because we'll tell us, I'll I'll be happy when this happens, or even worse, I won't be happy until this happens. Well, guess what? You're not going to feel happy because your spirit will follow your words, your thoughts. We got to be careful about what we, not careful because that indicates fear. We can be cautious with the words we speak and speak to each other with care. Care is the best way to overcome these levels of understanding. People have to feel comfortable, right? And we all and in this world of judgment and punishment, people are afraid of being wrong. And so if you ask questions, well, that might be mean you didn't understand. And if you didn't understand, well, you might be wrong. That's where all that crap comes from. But if we can find, and if we can,
Called pride.
it's what I call the ego. It's the belief that it's the way we're designed. It's a miracle we live. How about that?
Just to touch back when you were talking about speak kindly to each other, it's also important that we speak kindly to ourselves. Sometimes we are our worst critic. Like, I will just break everything down so horrible, and people will be like, oh my God, I didn't even see any of that when you did that. And I'll be like, oh. So we have to speak kind to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Yeah, fuck other people.
Well,
Yeah.
This is where the practice of finding peace alone, that's where it's important. Because if you can't be comfortable alone, if you're always sitting with a voice that's bitching at you and telling you you're not good enough, or, this isn't done, blah, 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 placing all those expectations on yourself, if you can't be comfortable alone with yourself, it's time to do so. It's time to spend some time inside, reuniting with the good parts of who you are. Whoever that might be.
When you were talking about people, their happiness being dependent upon an outcome, that's called attachment, which is most of what people are having difficulty with. That's conditionals. So like love is an attachment if you have an accord. I'm only going to love you if you do this. I'm only going to be happy if you do this. I'm only going to do this if you do this.
That's what Jesus does.
And those are conditions. It's attachment. So when you lose your attachment or don't get the attachment, you feel butthurt or upset or miserable. And we're supposed to learn how to be detached from outcomes so we can actually have peace. And that allows everyone to have free will, because now you're no longer making them be obligated to you for your happiness. Now they can choose to stay or go out of their own free will, and you will be happy whether they stay or leave. It is not dependent upon them.
I'd go one for, yes, all of that. All of that. That is exactly it. Becoming loving without condition. Being grateful without attachment. It actually becomes more simple with practice. finds reason. I was thinking this thought earlier, not to totally take the topic off again, but to find more inner peace in yourself, reduce the anxiety and the feeling of being separated from the world and others. Find the good. Find the good in every person, because it's really easy to find things you don't like about people. It's really easy to find things you don't like about yourself. It's easy to find things you don't like about the moments. It feels better to find the good, I'm telling you. And if you can find the good in others, you're not walking around worried about enemies, you know, thinking of spending your time trying to figure out what that person's doing and that person's doing and why they said that. And fuck, you just get to live, man.
Mhm.
Just
How did you find the good? I heard it's like right under like a little hood.
There's many locations and moments available for the good to be discovered. The idea is to share that good. But we can't share what we haven't received. So if you want to share good in whatever way, find good in whatever way you can. That's what I've been trying to do. And I honestly, guys, how did I learn to find the good? As I learned my own way was to surrender. I accepted the fact that my judgments had been the result of most of my problems. So,
And what do you mean by that, Jack?
my opinions.
Okay.
The world has shown me that my opinions don't matter. What Jack thinks does not fucking matter. So
why would that be the world's call? Like, why would the world get to determine that for Jack?
it's my path, I guess.
But I mean, don't you think that your opinions matter no matter what the world says, because it's you and your opinions should matter regardless of. You see?
Oh, here. I stopped a little short. Thank you, Flo. My opinions don't matter to the facts. Okay? Does not change any facts.
All right,
So,
that I can agree on.
thank you. I love how critical you are. Thank you, Flo. Guys.
Yeah, I thought it was a value statement. I didn't realize that it was a logistic.
No, it's humbling, but it's true. If we accept that fact, if we accept the fact that our opinions don't matter, well, we're humbling ourselves to the truth, to what is real.
Is that really the pricing, the discount schedule that you have?
No.
Okay.
No, but it sounds like something I might do. No, I'm actually pretty. I don't know. I am
because mine are only $1. I don't know if you've heard.
I know
Yeah.
You made me feel guilty when I saw that. I was like, golly geez, Jack.
Why?
I started mine.
Because yours are higher.
Yeah.
Well, it's a strategy.
It's I'm not in it
because I learned, and it's something it's the one thing that I remember explicitly from college. I think probably is that when you're pricing something, you're better to either be the lowest or the highest, but you don't want to be the market middle.
That might be where I am. It doesn't matter. It does, but it doesn't. You know, what matters is what we do from now on. That's what I've come to learn. And we are living in a very unique time. And if you think about it, every time to live might be unique. So there's nothing new about today. And yet, every moment is brand new. Cynthia does have cool lights.
I've got a little issue going down in chat. Thank you. It's my moon man. Oh, okay, guys. Sometimes when I'm alone in my room, I pretend like I received an MTV Moon Man Award. Do a whole entire speech. Something. So when I saw him, I was like, "This, I need this for my little playtime." So
That is cool.
when I worked in the clubs, it was always dark and lights. And I have disco ball. I have a disco ball in my car. Like, I just love lights and music.
Yeah. I haven't broke that down. That'd be a lot of memberships. Probably going to need to build my subscriber count.
Jack, on the subs only that can comment.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Thank you. I've been meaning to engage that, and it might be a great time.
Yeah.
I love this.
So, Jack, I would argue that your opinion is actually valuable and that everyone's opinion is valuable and that we should have all sides involved. I think what's more the issue is expecting others to value your opinion or to agree with your opinion. And it's more of the expectation that's causing issues. I don't know if you heard any of that. You were distracted.
I do apologize. I was not focusing at all.
Okay.
What
did I just say? Oh, yeah. I said that your opinion does matter. Everyone's opinion matters, especially to yourself. But I think what causes pain is when we expect others to value it or to agree with it. And it's the expectation that creates that pain and disappointment. But if you don't expect them to agree and you just are simply sharing your point of view, then you won't be so upset.
We may not realize we're attached to an outcome. That's something I've come to realize quite clearly in myself. Airing my frustration and not realizing that I did have an expectation. I hope this is related to what you said, but I don't know if it is or not. I'm sorry. What you said reminded me of a thought I had earlier about offering some encouragement for any of those who are facing some anxiety regarding their economic condition. Okay, that is a common stressor right now. Economic security, what's going to happen in the future. We're being tested, I do believe. It's how I was tested myself. I found freedom in my inner being a long time ago when I detached myself from the materialistic purpose. Where I was at 2018, not to keep going, but my kid was already living mostly at his mom's, about ready to graduate from high school. I was like, well, shit, there's nothing really keeping me here. I don't have to keep this job that I don't like. I can get something different and travel a bit. And when I realized that I could reduce my debt, reduce my obligation of earning, if I could reduce my expenses, I didn't have to work so much. That's what I Duh, simple and obvious. Well, making that conclusion allowed me to start willing to give stuff away. Just get it out of my life. I don't want the memories of the past. It's stuff that's irrelevant to my future. Here, Goodwill, take it and go. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, with the economic climate, it can bring a lot of anxiety. And so when we recognize the anxiety, please recognize it as a lesson for yourself to overcome. It's a reminder for you to go within, to come into the moment, regroup, and do what you got to do to prepare yourself for what you're, whatever. Which along the idea of being prepared, right? Anxiety is a symptom of that gets us going, so we prepare for the future. Sometimes we may need to change our definitions of what it means to be prepared. Maybe adjust our expectations of what we might actually need. Maybe we don't need as much as we think sometimes to be happy.
You don't need very much at all, actually. This happiness is not going to come from things or people, for that matter.
It's real easy to believe that it does, though.
But you get a nice little, like, chemical hit when you get things that you're excited about, but it fades almost instantly, and then you gotta go get your next hit. It's a drug. It's not actual peace and happiness.
Our bodies get addicted to the brain chemicals, to the drugs. And I've heard it. I can't prove it. I can't explain it or prove it. But, you know, we carry these parasites and bacteria within us that do affect our chemistry. The chemistry affects how we feel. What we feel is our energetic state, and our energetic state tunes our minds into the different thoughts. If we feel bad, we're going to see bad. If we got that feeling of anger, we're going to see a lot of things that might make us angry. We tune in to what we perceive. And there's a connection to the parasites and the bacteria that we develop within our biomes. I've heard they can I've heard the parasites and bacteria, however it works, however it communicates, and it makes sense that it would. It wants to feed itself. It's the desire of nature. Where we live, it is a miracle we live. It seriously is. It defies logic that we have the opportunity to life and memory and consciousness and experience. It defies logic.
I don't think so. I think it defies our capacity of logic, but I think it is divinely.
It defies evolution.
It involves evolution.
It defies the Big Bang Theory.
Depends on how you classify the Big Bang Theory and evolution. Which version are you going with?
Well, macroevolution, specifically consciousness coming from not consciousness, is
right.
That's the leap that. Jack, what's happened with the head? Okay, are you agreeing with me or disagree? I don't know what's going on here.
I was agreeing. Yeah.
Okay.
The idea that from no consciousness, that consciousness would evolve. Nope. Not buying it. There's a creator beings. Who knows? That were involved in creating us. Honestly, guys, earlier today, oh God, I know how this can sound.
Just say it.
Just go.
Well,
Sex Tupkin. Here we go.
The thought that I kind of stumbled on earlier, trust your body to take you. where that came from was as I was massaging my leg again today. Seriously, there's pleasure that takes your breath away just from massage, and not in the genitals either. I mean, that works too.
You know, had you not prefaced it, my brain would not have gone to the third leg when you mentioned
It
leg.
wouldn't have.
No,
Mine didn't. Mine
Mine
went to
for sure would
Sarah.
have. Instantly
Mine went
caught
to
that.
Sarah
Oh,
talking
my
about
face
her
is
yoga.
red from just thinking it. Come on now.
Massaging my lower leg. The muscles here, it happens in the back too. So I'll just say, okay, so massaging the muscles within your body, they will adjust, and it creates a movement. And I swear I've gotten to this point where just this
An energetic
I can feel movement. I'm massaging my lower shin, my shin. I'm massaging my
I know.
shin, and I
Right.
can feel movement in my toes as well as in my skull. It's like, holy shit, it's pleasure.
Like your brain and toes are physically moving, or like the energy is flowing through your body.
It feels like the tissue is like maneuvering itself, rearranging itself completely, but
Those are
it's
the
more
demons.
likely energetic flows are being released and flowing through. But where I'm massaging is what was identified as the meridians, from what I understand. It's the it's the fascia, the lines of fascia that we have. It's amazing.
You have a lot of shit trapped in your body. Have you ever dealt with solfeggios and sound bowls and stuff to help move the frequency around so you can break that shit up? I recommend doing it.
I've been to some sound baths, and yeah, I love that. They're using sound frequencies.
Mm-hmm. The way that energy can move freely instead of being trapped, unless you actually like trigger it through pressure points.
Yes. I've not experienced any of those healings. I mean, specifically, I know there's people say they've experienced, like, from Reiki healing and some of these other things like the sound baths and bowls experience. Personally, I have not experienced anything transformative, but subtleties.
Okay.
Lou, your mind has got to be, it's either like, actually, I think it's like a scary fantasy park.
I think Lou probably massages his own shins way too frequently.
Well, what I realized in our body is a divine intelligence. It's genetically passed down. Our tendencies and our probabilities create who we become. But there's a natural, the intelligence that makes me and makes you, it's the same thing, but it's got a mind of its own within us. Our body does. We don't have to think about digestion or elimination or, detoxification. We don't have to think about those things, yet when they don't work, we sure do.
And they're not working, it means you're blocking it somehow, either energetically or with a physical obstruction. And you need to actually change it. It's either stress or food or whatever.
We have to be in touch. We have to be in touch with our bodies. As I'm going through rehab, I'm learning how to check for tightness, and I'm sure Sarah is going to know more about this.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What?
Oh, that took me a second. Keep going.
It's
I
good.
need
Like,
to calm down or something. I can't.
No, I have to check my body for tightness, and if I notice it's starting to get tight, is then when I have to stretch it out before it turns into something painful. And a lot of times we don't take the time to be in touch with our bodies.
I can't handle this panel right now.
Because we touch our bodies, we're in touch with our bodies.
Something
Hey.
like that.
Actually, what Cynthia said, mock it, but you're preventing yourself from accepting it. Actually, you can mock it, but accept it anyway in private.
No, it's true. Sarah, am I wrong?
What she's saying.
No, you're not wrong. I just think Flo went sexual with your words, and you wasn't thinking like yoga.
Right.
It took me a second to get where Flo's brain was at.
Our bodies are made to move. Our bodies are made to feel. Our bodies are made to live, not conform, not obey, not suffer through life. We're here to lead ourselves through life. And if you can't move yourself, guess what? You're not going to lead yourself anywhere but the damn couch. So, our mobility is in our spine every single day. I'm grateful that I do it. Please try it. You might be grateful for yourself for doing it. Every day I spend at least, it's not conscious or intentional, a period of time, but stretching and maneuvering the spine.
Is that how you two check for tightness? You two?
Sarah, you do.
I just want to know how to do it right.
You see how far you can go on each side. Yeah, and then if one side's a little bit tighter, is then when you start, and then you do your shoulders, you do your hips, and listen, it's the doctor telling me, okay, guys, like I didn't just make it up.
Your range of motion in your joints and your major muscle groups. Yes.
But how many fingers do you use to check?
Just the one.
I do
Jack
too.
says two. Jack says 2 fingers.
I do too.
To the second knuckle, right? And then push up.
Hey, back.
Do you do massages, Sarah?
No, I mean, no.
That lady who does the massages at the clinic, she can put one finger on my back and I will scream in pain, versus I can be hit in a major car wreck and it won't be as painful as what that one finger is doing to me. Which that sounded bad now that I said it.
Is she pushing right on a knot?
Yeah, and she says she's working it out, which I don't even know what knots are, but they're gone because it's not so painful now when she does it.
Yeah.
Hey, these bodies, the pains are just, they're warning systems. Our body needs some attention, and the body is complex, though. It might hurt up here, and you need some attention down low, but it's mobility of the spine, the body. When you do, everything is, life is lived in within. This is what I've learned. If you can find this game within yourself to feel good, you do things that feel good. Increase your mobility, stretch your spine. And another reason for that, I've heard, well, we've got this cerebral spinal fluid. It's the same fluid that envelops our brain, runs down our spine with the nervous system, and it's all chemicals and electrical. So get the feeling sensations that feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And
we are electrical meat suits.
Yeah.
That's what I call our body. And
what you were saying, carrying the stresses, the energies,
mm-hmm.
a lot of the release and a lot of the cause is right there between our ears. It's in the thoughts we think, because the thoughts we think leads us to the energies we're going to consume, whether it's food or social or entertainment.
Yeah. Stress is like, wow. I don't know if it's been proven, but I personally think stress is the #1 cause of cancer and other forms of diseases, stress related.
I believe it's going to be shown. I don't know. My assumption is cancer and anger are tied, and anger is just a cause of stress. It is a killer. The dis-ease of our minds leads to the dis-ease in our bodies, much of it. Well, of course, not just through the chemicals we're going to produce within ourselves. It's not healthy to be in this fight or flight mode, like from the moment we wake up until we exhaust ourselves and pass out at the end of the day. It's no way to live, man.
Mhm.
I used to.
I don't know if you know this, but I've been building a online yoga studio, and I'm going live on January 1st. Well, it's not. Site is going up January 1st. I will not be doing it live. They'll be pre-recorded, but there's yogas. It'll be Vinyasa yoga, power yoga, and then there's going to be pranayama and meditations as well as psychology stuff. It's not going to be all at once. It's going to be building up because it's got a long way to go. But if you need something to help move, and I'm going to start from the very basics so people can work their way up.
Is it going to be on the Mindfuck channel?
No, that's my fraternity yoga. It's going to start out on Patreon while the actual site gets finished being built, and the app costs too much money. So I have to actually make sure I have customers before I can get the app built. Otherwise, I'll go fucking broke.
That's dope, though. Scott's here for the yoga.
I love that idea, Sarah, and congrats. What a great vision. And I bet with your awareness and experience, I bet you will do a great job of helping anybody understand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure. Welcome,
That's
Scott.
intent, at least. The goal.
What on earth?
I will be right.
Wow. Here, excuse me. You there? I guess a moment of stillness. Here, excuse me.
Does he know that he's
1,
on?
2, 3.
Mic
check.
We got you. We got you loud and clear.
Roger that. Good evening, everybody. Besides yoga, what have I missed?
Massage, stepping away from the crowd, finding peace in the stillness. Oh yeah. Discussion on the purity within the essence and the spirit.
Purity within the essence and the spirit.
Hey, Flo.
Hey,
Flo.
Cynthia. What's up, Cynthia?
Was that Richard? Is he somebody you knew the other day, or did he just pop up on your live?
No, I'd known him for a while.
Yeah, the things he was saying about if your heart and mind, like your heart and mind think, like if you see good, you're gonna see good. If you see angry, like you were saying, Jack, you're gonna see angry. And so I think sometimes we have to realize we need heart checks, not attitude checks, body checks, reality checks, but we need heart checks. And so I really enjoyed his conversation the other day. And I'm going to do something with
You
all
should,
of that.
yeah. I hope that you subscribe to him. I put his link in the chat or the description box of that stream, like I always do.
What's
he used to be not an atheist, an anti-theist. He was one of the hardcore ones who are very much opposed to religion. Then but he's also analytical and honest. He read the Bible, start front to back, and tried to clear his mind of everything that he already knew about it, right? And just read it with fresh eyes. And the conclusion is that he's no longer an anti-theist. He considers himself a Christian, although I don't think you'll ever find a Christian who thinks the same thing. But the story that he took away is quite different from anything that I've heard anywhere else.
Who is this? Missed that part.
It's his name is Richard Madsen, and his channel is called Demolished Doctrine. But in my last live stream, he came on, and I've got his channel linked in the description box.
Yeah, no, I remember him.
Yeah,
I'm about to drop it.
In fact, he and I both said we technically weren't Christians based off of how people use the word.
Say that again.
He and I both sided on one, because I was on his panel I don't know how long ago that was, but based off of the definition that people were using for Christian, he and I both agreed that neither he or I are Christians.
Do you have a type for him?
Oh, he's definitely a TI Dom, for sure.
ISTP or ISTP is.
Yeah, I don't remember, so I knew he was TI.
But he is TI-ish, like a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You guys are awesome. You're speaking a language that I know of, but I can't interpret well.
Introverted thinking is TI. It's very language oriented, and he is
But it's
very
also
much into language.
it's like deductive logic, basically, is how I sort of see it.
Mhm. Yeah.
If this, then this, not this. You know,
Conditional thinking. Yeah.
non-self contradiction is a big thing there.
Hmm. It's logical proofs is what it is, rather than evidence-based conceptual necessary truths, like like a mathematical proof. But he does it for all of the reasonings, not just math.
Sorry, there was something I wanted to address. If I may,
Is it Tarek? Oh,
No, it's Mr. Pie. You know,
Mr. Pie.
Jeff is such a nice friggin' guy, and he's got such a lovable heart, and he's funny as hell. And he showed up yesterday, and I was just all rude and ungrateful.
He was rude here yesterday?
Huh?
He was rude here yesterday?
He wasn't. I was.
Oh, well, that's nothing new.
I'm really trying to break out of that.
I'm just giving you shit.
I know you are. And welcome, Snafu.
Mr. Talcott, Snowball Walnuts of Talcottia, and Mr. Flo, and Miss Cynthia, and Sarah, and Scott. Is the camera like messing up? Like it's like going.
He's got
like
background blur filter on.
Oh,
But he's
Snafu's
sitting
like,
far away from it.
like he's blaring.
can
Yeah,
you
he
just
always
shut
does.
up?
Ah,
Part of it is his voice. Like him and Tommy and Paul are just loud as fuck no matter how much you turn them down.
They're
Right.
passionate. They're
Hey,
passionate.
Cynthia,
crackling and so loud.
I wanted to ask Cynthia a question though. Really,
Yeah,
like
is it-
everyone's saying I'm lying. You did admit you worked at a strip club, right? Or was that something I made up? Or a club, or what?
Yes, it was an urban strip club.
Okay, see, so all you motherfuckers who want to give me shit, Cynthia worked at the strip club.
I've told that story a couple of times on Flows. I've talked about it, and I've talked about it when I was over at Paul's.
I know, and they think I'm full of shit, and I'm like, no, she admitted it,
Who are
and
you
yeah,
talking to? Who are you saying it to? If it's anybody in the chat, they just heard me. So where are you going and speaking?
well now they know. It was
Well,
people
where
in the
are
chat.
you going and speaking?
Well, they want.
Why are
I
you
think people are
cupcakes
wondering if you were a
Snafu?
stripper or like, were you an actual
Yeah.
stripper?
No,
I want to know
I
why
talked to-
Snafu was
Look.
trying to stir shit up today.
I want to know why Snafu's
That's what he
cupcake and he's
does.
not subscribed, but he's in the panel.
Why? Yeah, I'm not subscribed. Just
What
Jack
the fuck's
subscribed
up
to
with that,
Snafu.
man?
Is
That's
Jack-
cupcake. Are you too butthurt that you can't subscribe?
Thank you for that, John. I
Yeah, good call. I
appreciate
wonder if
it.
he's subscribed to me. Snafu, are you subscribed?
No.
Well, you can't answer here.
When I bought subscriptions, he got one of the free ones.
Bet.
Wait, memberships. Memberships are different than subscriptions.
Oh, is it?
Right.
Well, yeah, when he bought memberships, but you have to be subscribed to get a membership.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, well, that's true. However, what John pointed out is that Snaps isn't in the chat since I turned on membership or
He's on
subscriber only.
Snaps is subscribed to me because when Chuck bought memberships and gifted some of them, Snaps got one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here,
You turned on subscribers, Jack, not members.
yes,
Oh,
it is
okay.
subscribers only is what I put on, and
Yeah.
you only got to be a subscriber for 10 minutes.
Right.
The count hasn't changed.
Don't worry.
You
Sorry,
tell me.
go
I
ahead.
already told Snaps that he gets a lap dance from me to a really long song. I would do anything for love by Meatloaf. The whole song, fully nude,
Oh
fully
my
erect.
God.
Mm-hmm.
You better go over to Paul's channel.
I told you
Who
Paul
is doing
doesn't.
what?
Paul doesn't have a monopoly on sexual humor, just on sexually awkward advances.
Oh, you don't even have to be subbed to get a membership.
I thought you did.
Possibly. Actually,
I have
no,
no
you don't.
idea.
No,
You know what?
do
I'm
not.
not positive. I could be wrong there.
I actually somehow that Welsh News Network or something like that. I
Yeah.
haven't given it a lot of attention. I was subscribed, unsubscribed, and then I got an email that I was gifted a membership to them. So I went back and subscribed again. So somehow I received a membership without even being at the stream. Maybe it was something they did with.
Well, I don't. Something about you have to have accept gifts turned on, but I don't see that on my phone. So
Yeah, I looked into that because I couldn't do it either. But Flow State is a brand account, and so
okay.
if yours is a brand account, brand accounts can't receive gifted memberships, which is stupid.
Oh, I remember. Okay, you're right.
My brand account. What does that mean?
Ultimately, at the end of the day, barely nothing, except you can't receive gifted memberships, and it just makes it easier to give other people access to the channel.
Well,
So they don't have to have
what a brand account is.
a brand account. Like the difference is that I could give you access to Flow State without giving you my whole Google login credentials.
Right. See, I have I'm sure.
I don't know if I have a brand account. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know what that is. So how do I figure that out?
I don't remember.
You would
You'll
go
have to
into your settings and look
Yeah.
into it. And so when you have the brand account, you can hire, well, these are their job titles, editors, and editors will be able to go into your studio and they'll be able to put videos for you. You can hire there's one other one, and then there's manager, and the manager person can go live on you. They can do everything.
Yeah, there's like more tiers of mod availability, and
managing
like I
mods.
said, you can hand over different degrees of controls to other people without having to give them your whole Google credentials.
Okay. I have no idea.
Jonathan, yeah, I think that it was designated that up at inception. I never changed it to it. I've never tried to change it from it, but I'm under the impression, I don't know if you can or not, actually. When I looked into it, I don't recall seeing an easy option. Like, if you want to change it, click here. But I really haven't looked into it, so I don't actually know.
I love this live.
And can they do polls? Can Jack do polls?
I think so.
Yeah. Polls are fun. I like it when Flo does a poll.
I was gonna do a poll about the time.
Yeah.
Where do you do that at?
Flo.
There it is. I found it.
Mr. Pie, I see you.
Please. Well, here. Do you guys want to tolerate Snafu?
I kind of do.
Yeah, he's
All right.
fun.
All right. He's tolerable, but sometimes
Mostly, I want to see if he's excited.
I want to
about the
know
lap
why you
dancing.
just. I'm a member, and you totally just backstage me, and then you're like, "Are you subbed or not?" I want to know, are you subbed to Snafu Snaps 8, Jack Talcott?
I'm
I
pretty
am.
sure- yes, I am.
Thank you, Cynthia. I'm subbed.
Me
I
too.
know I am because I put when I tag you in the description. It
Okay.
comes up that I'm subscribed.
I'll tell
Thanks
you
for
why.
reminding
My
me.
channel got
I'll
a
go
strike
ahead and
yesterday,
drop it.
so
I'll go
that's
ahead
why
and-
I'm not like my channel got a strike yesterday.
Oh,
So I'm struck.
so you can't. So you want?
Well, I reset my stuff every time I get a strike. I
Yeah,
unsub and reset it. There's reasons why.
Why?
But I just so you know, I will sub back.
What are the reasons for that? I'm just curious. What's the thought process there?
It's an algorithm trick thing, especially because it depends on if it's a YouTube strike or if it's a troll strike. Like if they're going like on a like a bunch of people mass reporting, or if it's just a YouTube algorithm thing, and so it's like a reset, so to speak, that I do.
So the
What did you
algorithm
get-
doesn't. Yeah.
What did you get the strike for?
It was one of the actual good videos. I believe it was DW's or the social credit score system one. One of those videos got hit.
Were you using someone else's content?
No, again, I go hard in the paint on my channel, especially on those kind of videos where I don't censor myself.
Oh, okay.
So it's a guidelines, not a copyright.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But it like I'm channel 8, so this one's like a week until you could post or live stream or any of that stuff. But yes, so I am unstubbed, Mr. Talcott, because I probably did. I usually clear out everything and then redo it, and it's hard to keep up because I'm on channel 8. So like if you guys ever get your channel taken away, make sure you have a list of all your subs that you do like and channels you do like, because if they ever take that away, it's gone. Your content, the people you used to sub to, everything. So there were times where I was like, oh shit, I don't even remember the channels I used to watch all the time because I was just so used to them popping up an algorithm or clicking on them. And yeah, so if you have channels that you're sub to, make sure you have like a list or something in case something ever does happen with you guys.
And also, when you were talking about the videos, that's why it's always good to put your videos somewhere else, just inside of YouTube, like if you have a website or anything. Because if YouTube takes your videos, you can never get those back. And if you've already deleted your footage of all the work you put in, it's gone.
Oh, I've lost thousands and thousands of videos between the years I've been doing this. Like I said, my first channel was 10,000 subs plus, and yeah, now I'm down to Snafu Snaps 8 with like 80 people. So it is what it is. But yeah, it sucks when you lose content, and it's hard because when you do it for years, at first when you do it, you're like, oh, I could back it up, but it gets to a point if you're putting content out like nonstop, you almost don't care about backing it up because you almost have that invincibility. Like, I don't need to worry about it. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's gone. And you're right. You're just, fuck, I wish I would have had that content.
Yeah, I have a whole
Save it to your computer before you upload it.
Do what, sir?
Don't you save it to your computer before you upload it?
Dude, I've been doing this shit ghetto fabulous on the phone for years. And like I said, I made my first 10,000 subscribers over a phone. Didn't even use a laptop.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then if you just make tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of videos, it just takes up so much room on your computer, and then you got to put it to a hard drive. And a lot of people don't want to make all those extra steps.
Because
Yeah, and it wasn't even that. Like I said, it really got me when I don't know about you guys, but if you have like tons of channels you sub to, And that's what really pissed me. It wasn't even the content. It was like, dude, some of these channels I couldn't remember, but I kind of remember, and it was hard for me to find them. And you can't even go to a history because the whole thing's gone, count deleted. Hey, so Ian's over at the rebuttal right now. I found that interesting.
Yeah, it looks like he's back. It's cool.
Yeah, he actually was saying over on rebuttal, Mr. London's now that he actually said he plans on trying to get a hold of you, Talcott, and some others. I think he's trying to come in hard. I don't know what his plans are.
To come hard.
I spent time over there earlier.
Yeah, something like that.
I can't believe that he missed the checking for tightness conversation then, because that would have been right up his alley, you know.
I was gonna say, not to be mean, I thought you were a little kind of older for tightness, Cynthia.
Well,
God snaps.
you're shallow, Snaps, if you think that, because
Well, I don't.
crazy that you think that.
It's not that he's
Look at
shallow.
Scott. He's ready. He turned on that camera. He's ready. Talk to her, Scott.
Nothing to say on that one, man. You got it. Just carry on. Carry on. Christian soldier.
Like Snafu, at what age do you think women are no longer valuable to men?
I don't think it's an age number. I think it depends on how many children they have. Usually it's past 30s, 40s.
I think
So are you saying
Damaged goods. Damaged goods. And but guys are damaged goods too. But yeah,
Oh,
women,
wait.
like, that's why you see these men
More
looking for the younger women.
Snafu, it's not gonna go ahead.
All right, I'll stop.
What age are guys damaged?
Ask Mr. Talcott. This is his show.
yeah.
No, just me to ask you. He
I
just
would
said,
like Snafu to define what he means by damaged goods.
This is more of appropriate on the Flow State show, not Mr. Talcott show.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
why
it's
Jack
never
left.
appropriate, but you got yourself into this situation. You might as well.
So what do I consider damaged goods?
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
okay, for instance, if you have children and you're single, that's damaged.
I thought
What
it
guy
was
wants-
damaged.
What makes
Like, what
them
guy would want to, like, start, like, okay, there are guys out there, but, like, truly, in reality, they're not your children. You obviously have, you couldn't hold a relationship with the first guy that you had the children with. So any guy who's hooking up with a girl with children, that's kind of, in a sense, damaged goods.
No.
Are you Mexican? Are you from Mexican descent, Snaps?
He's Indian.
Okay.
Please,
He's from
Please let
India.
please let me jump in here, because this
Please do, Jack.
Please,
Save us.
Talcott. Please.
damaged goods. This is the problem, brother. Damaged goods means that you are objectifying, you are treating other human beings, particularly in this case, female human beings, as things. Now,
Yep.
what would
Some women
cause
like that.
that is if you see yourself as a thing, most likely. And we don't tend to care about things. At least that's what the world has taught us to believe. But brother, damaged goods. That's the other thing. When you defined a damaged good would be a single mother.
Yeah.
Praise
Like,
God,
what? Okay, if you
man.
had a single mother versus a single woman with no children, who's going to be the best fit for that man? It'd be
And
the
that's
single
what
woman.
we're literally
It'd be the
talking
single
about.
woman, guaranteed. There's no argument there. There's no
Oh,
argument.
no.
She already has a
Kids
kid.
are
She already
kids.
has this. Why wouldn't a
Hey.
man?
Because kids need love, period. No
Okay,
matter
from
where
their
they
own
come
daddy.
from.
Yeah, Chuck. I ain't trying to play daddy for a kid. I mean, if I get it, like I get people with.
Snafu. Thank you.
Hey,
Oh, I didn't-
I hope that's an act. Because
I
if
didn't-
that's really what he thinks, boy, I would never
Yeah,
want
that's crazy.
He's
Well-
never going to see me as valuable in the way that I think I'm valuable.
the
Well, that's
point
a
I
heart
wanted.
check.
Sorry, what?
That's a heart check. Like, where does his value lie? He sees value in that. That's just a heart check.
The Whatever podcast last night had Dave Rubin on, and there was one girl that was a couple girls that were sex workers, and they were trying to sell themselves off as saying 50% of the males out there would be okay with being with a woman that was a sex worker. Now, I would consider that damaged goods, and I don't know about the rest of you guys here, but I would say I would absolutely forbid myself from being with a sex worker.
I think a lot of women are under that impression falsely because dudes always encourage that sort of shit to girls' faces in the moment, right? But they're not telling them the truth. They're just trying to get some puss.
But porn stars are married.
How long?
Mm.
To how many porn stars?
There was a point I was trying to get to about the judgment of a single mom. That is objectifying and labeling and defining an individual based on the circumstances of life.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone chooses to live the roles that they find themselves in. And I actually, while I know there's a lot of people doing it poorly, I got a soft spot in my heart for single moms because that's what raised me. I know there's value in that, tremendous value in everybody.
I agree,
Now-
Jack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everyone has intrinsic value, and nobody is a lost cause.
I don't know that I agree with that, but
Well,
Everyone has the ability and capabilities to come back. It's whether or not they're willing to do the work.
Jeffrey
think-
Dahmer.
a greatest part of our lives is timing. Timing is outside of our control. But, you can have the perfect people in the lives of each other, but if it's not the right time for them to accept whatever, doesn't work. Timing is important. And this is where humbly, right? We can humble ourselves to the eternal nature of life, our anxiousness, our worries that, I don't know, we make our life more challenging than it needs to be. And then we do that to other people as well. I'm trying to break that habit for myself and others. So are you talking, Scott? Okay. Hey,
Is that snaps again?
It's Snowball Walnuts.
it is.
that's that porn
I'm
star.
Snowball Walnuts, not Snaps.
Okay, my bad, Snowball.
That's the midget porn star and wrestler.
Well,
you know?
if Talcott copyrights it, like you did the whole fear thing, I can't use it anymore.
Did you copyright Fear Factor, Talcott?
But which one did you do? You copyrighted something, didn't you, Talcott, for branding purposes? Or Live Without Fear or something?
Going to be pissed at you.
Well, I believe. Well, I have a piece of paper that says I securely registered Live Without Fear.
Oh,
And then
okay.
It
filed
makes
the-
Paul so angry.
Well, no, this one was I
Love Without
received,
Fear. Love
I
Without Fear.
received this back in 2018, and then this year, I think it was, yeah, it had to have been this year. This year, I paid the fees and processed the paperwork for Love Without Fear. That's the one that got Polly triggered.
That's how you
So-
get herpes.
So the system
Love
does
Without
work.
Fear is how you get herpes.
Yes.
Sorry, but
And sometimes
Well,
they
it's
stick with you.
The system does work then if you filed for paperwork.
I know
Yes
Paul
or
was
no?
Jack pulled a good move though, because Paul was like, I mean, that was a smart business. Like, I mean, in case it did pop, you did what you did business wise.
I mean, the
Well-
system does work sometimes in people's favor.
Here's what I'd like. I mean, this is a slim possibility, but I'd like you to consider this concept that part of my purpose, if I succeed in getting the message of live without fear in the world, we're going to overcome this bullshit of intellectual property.
You got to have intellectual property.
Says who?
Whoa.
Says the government and
As the
economics.
government, why would you want somebody else to take your ideas that you slaved over and made?
Because, Chuck, I am here to share with the world, and I believe the future world will share that mindset. So if I succeed, anybody and everybody can share shirts and merchandise, but not yet. Right now, this shit is mine. And
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's the difference?
actually, you're right.
What's the difference? That's double standard.
Hey, Chuck.
Yes. I'm not
Figure
being
it out.
combative.
Yeah, you are. Figure it out.
No, it's a question.
Okay, so let's get the answer. I
Okay.
trust you can figure it out.
What was the
Why
question? I missed
would-
it.
He's labeling me as, I guess, talking out both sides of my mouth, where I say in the future, when the world is not controlled by ownership, right, and intellectual property in the future, this can be shared widely. And the interruption came when I was saying that I might not want people profiting from live without fear today. But you know what? My goal is to develop the website where there will be free knowledge and information for kind of along the lines of what it sounds like Sarah's developing. Maybe I'll just promote yours there.
Well,
Someone,
and whether or not you actually monetize something that you've got copyrighted, and you can still use that to preserve it from other people utilizing it. So.
true, but this is the way that the scientific community has been controlled. This is the way the patent and technology, how the development of technologies have been controlled through put a patent on it, buy the patent, put it under
right.
the desk.
I mean, you are talking out of both sides of your mouth right now.
Yep.
Which ways?
You're poo-pooing the pharmaceutical industry and businesses for doing what you're exactly doing.
Okay. Can you see the irony? That's actually what I'm trying to point out. I think it's funny that this is the evolution of my path and my life. Because when I invested in this, I just saw it as $1 million investment, dude. I was going to profit incredibly, handsomely from merchandising and, selling low cost, but selling self-development. And, but then I realized my greater purpose. Let's see what we can do for the world. Let's eliminate secrets and lies from the world and stop allowing everybody to own.
Well, if
things.
we're
Well,
going to
that
cut
doesn't-
out secrets, did you all catch
Hold on.
Flo getting the jab just a minute ago?
What?
I don't know why your arm was up there, your sleeve. What was going on there?
Yeah, I was getting the jab.
Okay. Well, now we know.
Yeah. Oh, well, I keep a few extra doses of booster at the house because my dad's a pharmacist, so I get the good.
That's it.
Damn it! I lost my train. God damn it, Scott.
Trademark. Copyright.
Yep. Which I, obviously being the good capitalist I am all for those things. I think it's fantastic that you utilize the tools that are there for valid reasons. I just don't get why you would then condemn or judge an entity for doing the same exact thing. No, did I interpret the tone of your voice wrong?
Potentially, if I delivered it wrong, I don't want to present that I'm condemning or judging people for being successful. Even the people, Hell, even the Rothschilds and the unnamed families who are controlling the world to some extent, I can understand. They're just profiting off of everyone else's agreement, off of the rules. You know, the wealthy can't blame the governments because the governments are what we choose. We choose to live this way. So the bankers aren't to be blamed. The government's not to be blamed. We're to be blamed. But let's stop blaming. No condemnation. The past of the past brought us to today. And the future I see is, well, I think it's happening right now. Everything is aligning perfectly. I don't claim to know what it's going to look like or how, but we're going through a shift. We are experiencing a transformation within ourselves and all around. Everyone is. And I believe that the truth is being revealed. Someone said something earlier. I wish I remembered the comment about me. I've been blessed to learn from others. I'm not claiming ownership of these ideas and stuff. I'm doing my best to communicate what I've learned in this experience and what I've experienced while learning. What I believe is we are divinely created. We are children of God. We can start living as such. How would a child of God live? Arrogantly? We can live like arrogant little pricks, bossing everybody around, acting like we're God. We know the type.
I was just about to say, why are you bringing Paul up like that?
I wasn't, not anyone. I did the same. I used to.
I mean, if everybody thinks of the same person, it's not on us.
I didn't think of any particular person.
Yeah, well, you know what? You also didn't. Jack could say he rubbed himself until his leg was shaking, and you still wouldn't think of anything there. So.
There's your visual.
I was thinking, like, when Sarah talks about the stars and the moon, I feel like when those things shift, our energy shifts. And that's how come a lot of shift.
Wow.
Even though I don't understand how the shift correlates or anything, I do think that there's some connection there.
This can be taken out of context, but I've considered this thought. What if we are what the gods are doing? The gods being the higher forms of intelligence and the higher energies that move us. We are what the gods are doing. We get so worked up.
Well, that was the case for Mary, right?
That's so they say.
You gotta be careful with shit like that, Flo.
Putting myself
golly,
in
geez. Your mind is in the gutter.
It's the stars.
It's the stars. The stars and moons are aligning just right. There is some truth to this. We are so amazing. This experience we are sharing. There's so many energies. There are so many variables that do and can affect us. How we feel, how we move, what we do. I have faith in the future because I've surrendered my will to accept that which is revealed and to do my best to see the good, to see the good, receive the good, and offer the good wherever I go. And then life is simple. Speaking of, I do want to thank you guys, but I might throw a wrench in the show again. There's a vegan place that does a weekly special, and today it's calling my name.
Today's Whopper.
That's the gayest thing that I've heard all day.
I think I say some of these for you, Flo.
You have to, and then I absolutely think that you bait me out too. Every time I like, I'm just gonna listen in a little bit. I'm not gonna engage. I've been on panels too much lately. I'm gonna do some other things in the real world. Then I'll hear Jack's voice saying some bullshit about economics and how we need to just stop having money so that everybody can give everything to everybody. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, just
You
be a
get it.
communist.
No, Jack, he doesn't get it, I don't think.
Oh my goodness. Hey, what about this question? I brought this up about myself, but let me check. If each of you on the panel, men and women, were to evaluate yourself, are you the type that really fit in? Did you find yourself within groups in high school or going up? Did you really, or were you the type that kind of found your own way?
I was a loner that could fit in with every group, but I was never invited to the groups.
Beautifully said. How many others like that? Because that's what
I was fairly social in all the groups, and actually in a lot of schools as well. Like not even just my school.
I fit in so many that like literally in a lot of odd ways with a lot of different groups from different age groups from early on. And I think it was a testament to my father because he was a really interesting guy and ran Junior Achievement. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but he was a youth mentor. So having that guy as a father, just, from an early age, I was never a jack of all trades. I mean, I guess I was a jack of all trades, master of none. My dad mastered a lot of shit. So
Scott, you've lived, from what I understand, that a different life than I have, and you fit in with some. Flo, were you like the popular kid, the one different schools? You were.
I was pretty popular, but but I wasn't cliquey. I didn't get in the cool kid clique. I was sort of everywhere in all places, but I never really joined. Like, I never joined a gang. I never joined a frat. I don't like limiting myself. But yeah, I got along pretty well with most people.
I don't want to say I fit in so much as I was kind of elusive and exclusive in who I hung out with because I had a lot of different people in different groups. So it was very strange. I could fit in with people, but I didn't allow people into where I was. It was very, very different. I don't know how to describe it other than when you see the movie Mall Rats, you go back to that day and age, look at that and start thinking mall brats. And then I had that experience. Okay. Start thinking about, just I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say it was an upper class lifestyle or anything that by no means it was middle class, but a lot of good fortune and great happenstance. So,
Hey, I was kind of that way too. Fit in with a lot of different groups, but not invited. I learned how to be comfortable with myself. Actually, that took me a lifetime, but learning to be comfortable and adapt to different groups, but not being invited. But the benefit of that is you learn different things. And people are fascinating. I'm truly, genuinely, honestly fascinated by people these days. You know how amazing and unique and different every single one of us is? It's like we underestimate each other because we judge each other by the current moment, by the timing.
Jack, when I grew up, there was a saying, a friend with weed is a friend indeed, and I always had weed.
Well, we don't need you because Jesse's here now.
I noticed that. That's what made me think of it, but that was literally about the truth.
Hey Jesse, how's it going with all your interviews?
Jesse doesn't have headphones on yet. There you go.
Really, really good. I just had a really big interview today. So the most we had before was on Tuesday. We had 550 people watching live. Today we had 920, almost 1,000 people watching live. So we doubled that. And we interviewed another guy, Gene Decode. He's got a lot of like military intel. He used to be a submarine operator. So it was a pretty fascinating guy, fascinating information. So we had another really good day. And then tomorrow is my 50th B day, and so Angeline's going to be interviewing me for my 600th interview.
What time?
So is this shirt the look of a midlife crisis, or are you just never left? The coolest never left you.
Never left, man.
All right.
I was 18 forever for a long time, and then finally, and looked very, young. And then finally, I was in my 30s, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm a little older, mature now. I'm going to be 25 forever now. And I was 25 forever. And, just recently, I not minding my age on what it is. But I just stay young and youthful for forever,
How about you be forever 31?
So is she gonna? If she's listening, I hope that she asks you what the secret to that is.
I'm not sure if she's listening. I'm on the headphones, but it's tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern is the interview. So it'll be live on YouTube and our other 5 platforms we go live on.
Are you Central Standard Time?
I'm Mountain, so it's going to be at 6 p.m. Mountain Time.
Hey, I closed out the poll, but initially I had the intention of doing another one to gain a little more clarity. I ran out of space for options. Today I started at 4:30. Based on the preference, it looks like 4 might be preferred. I may do that poll again another day. Jesse, I want to thank you for joining. You showed up right near the end as I was getting ready.
Okay, awesome. You just had a bowl of soup. You guys have an awesome night, and we'll see you next time we guys see you. If you can, check out our 600th interview tomorrow, and it's going to be interesting for me to be on the other side of the questions, because usually I don't talk too much. I just get my job obviously is to get the people talking, right? The more they're talking, the better job I'm doing. So it'll be an interesting dynamic.
The optics are copish.
Huh?
Get people talking.
Oh.
Hey, I'll try and remember to share the link tomorrow, and feel free to share the link today if you
I'm dropping it now.
Oh, bless you. Thank you, Cynthia.
Jack, why are you always in the stream when Jesse shows up?
It's not intentional. It never is. It's and that's not true. I don't always end the stream when Jesse shows. You're such an instigator, Flo.
Every other time.
Well, I just know how to drag out the stream longer.
That too.
Does that mean Flo's going live?
Not immediately. The machine lies is on. There's a chance later, but not right now.
Okay, cool. Hi, Angeline. So we're just ending. I'm out of here. So I just wanted to say hi and, just let y'all know I had a really good day on the missing link today, and then just share the interview tomorrow for anyone that's interested in getting to know a little bit more about me and my journey, and see the beautiful Angeline being, able to, ask me. And she's a little nervous. So if y'all have questions, pop in questions into the chat and stuff like that. So, because she's never done anything like that. So any help that she can get from some good questions would be great.
10-4.
I think you guys are going to have fun. And I know you will, brother. Thank you for joining, Jesse. You are a blessing and a brother for sure.
Good night, Jesse.
And the
Tell
number one
Anthony
most
that-
likely person in one of my recent polls to be a sleeper agent.
Have a
Okay.
good evening.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye, Jesse.
And actually, in all fairness, the Canadians swept the panel on that poll.
Does
I don't
Canada exist?
Jesus, there's
Canada
an
is a
active shooter
psyop.
in Maine. 22.
No, I
days.
did a poll a couple streams ago where, you only get so many options in the poll, so I had to break it down into two and then do a tournament style, But I believe, if I remember correctly, it was like Jesse, Angeline, OTW, and then everybody who's not Canadian after that. As most likely to be sleeper
OTW.
agents.
Oh, geez. I don't think
Yeah,
OTW is smart enough.
He's too neurotic. You gotta have some composure when you're sleeper agent. No.
I don't think
Jack,
it matters until
Yeah,
you're.
good evening, my friend. Everybody take care. Have a good evening.
Bye,
All
Scott.
right, Scott.
Blessings, brother. Thank you. I was just checking out this YouTube analytics.
Mhm.
Brings up a different screen. I've never paid attention to it. Do you guys use that for
Yes.
anything?
Yes, you have to pay attention to that because you pay attention to who your audience is, so you know who you're catering to.
No, like during the stream. It's got a graph here.
Jack, it's good for I guess hypothetically looking at your numbers, but remember the numbers are never accurate. You just like your viewership and your likes and everything. They totally.
I don't know how you know that.
So you want to know how I know it? Mike Strutton, Oracle, Vice President, these guys they're the biggest dudes that work with you. They have the third-party contracts with Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. These are CEOs. They taught over the 4 years I was working with those fuckers and Alex Jones when I was with them. I learned a lot about the algorithm
They're
shit.
never accurate.
No, never. They're never accurate. They're usually, especially like your likes and your the viewership. Like it could say.
What the heck's just happened?
I did that.
Yeah, Jack needs that. Jack needs his vegan diet, vegan food. All right. Well, I look forward to giving you that lap dance, Snaps.
What does the chat rate mean, Jack?
The what?
Chat. What does it say? Ratio. The second one.
Chat rate.
Rate. I wonder what the rate is.
Probably viewers that are watching compared to viewers that are typing. If I had to guess.
It says the chat rate of the stream at the most recently available time. So I'd assume maybe out of the viewers, there were 17 participating, perhaps. It's amazing how much data there is. And, the data... data can bring confusion. And like the great Snowball Snafu was saying, sometimes the data is not always accurate.
Indeed.
We can't let the data control us. We can't let the information control us. We can navigate through and find our ways to greater. But blessings, Chuck. Thank you. Sarah, Cynthia.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it once again, Jack. You enjoy your special for the day. Today's Whopper Wednesday over here, so I might go get a Whopper. And y'all just have a wonderful evening. Bye, Sarah.
Thank you, sister.
Well, Jack, as always, it's been a pleasure. I don't know. I go back home to Kansas tomorrow for 10 days, so I don't know if I'll be on a panel for a while or not. But it was always enjoyable. I'll see you when I see you.
Sarah, thank you very much. And enjoy your travels, sincerely. Hope you enjoy the adventure. And back home, can mean good things, can mean bad things. So I pray that you enjoy. You do seem like, you know what? I won't go specifics on people. Brothers and sisters, thank you all for joining. Those who were kind enough to join the panel and the chat. I appreciate the participation. I appreciate the viewers. And the goal for today, the goal for every day for me is to share some love. That's what we all need. And the best way to receive what you need is to offer it, to give of yourself, to open yourself up in order to receive. And I know there is truth to these laws, to these rules that I've been learning of and trying to share myself regarding the universal laws of exchange and creation that are what we bring forth through our life force energy, what we bring forth and offer to the world, it does get returned. I'm feeling the love. I do feel the love. I feel the gratitude. I feel the care. I am offering it as well. So, brothers and sisters, hopefully there was an even exchange for the give and take. And hopefully you walk away with a little more joy for your day, becoming one with you, whole in the separateness of you in this distinct moment as you. Brothers and sisters, thank you again. Till next time, peace for everyone. Choose love and live without fear. Thank you and God bless.